Now that we have these three custom audiences, so we can see it's a custom audience here, I want to go through how to create lookalike audiences. So we're going to go through to our lookalike audience. It's going to ask us to select a source. Now we can create a new source. So it's going to be from a custom audience. This custom audience with an LTV means a lifetime value. So if we had a customer list that we had uploaded that had how much people had spent with us before, we'd be able to use that. Alternatively, we can just click in here, and what's going to come up is all the audiences that we've already created. Now, if there was a value base, so a lifetime value that was connected with our audience, it would come up as a value-based source. Otherwise, it's going to come up as other sources. So value-based source is obviously going to come up with things like your pixel. So it's going to be picking up your pixel because it's going to assume that you have a store on there. It's going to be your newsletter sign up. It's going to be your booking data that we put in earlier. So that's all going to be there. If you don't have that, so we are looking at our website visitors, we're going to go through to other sources and we're going to start typing in NBH and look what comes up. So we can have a look at all our website visitors for the last 180 days. And I think this is a really good place to start because we want to be able to find people who are visiting our website and find people who are very similar and target them. It's going to then ask us for an audience location. And look, we may be a small business that is only located in the center of Brisbane and we only want to target people who are local to us. Unfortunately, when you're creating lookalike audiences, we need to look countrywide, but then in our ads, we'll be able to narrow that down. So for now, we're just going to have to put in Australia. And click out of there. And then we're going to have a look at the number of custom audiences that we want. Now, the reason it's asking us the number of audiences is because it automatically selects a 1%. So basically what that means is it's going to look at the audiences that you have. It is then going to find the 1% of things that they have in common. So what is the thing they most have in common? And it's going to create an audience from there. But what if the one thing that everyone has in common is not really what we're targeting? What if most of the people that we have in our funnel are women, but it's not necessarily women we're trying to get? We're actually trying to get people between the ages of 20 and 35. But because our audience is slightly bigger and there's a few other issues, it may not pick up that factor that we're looking at. So generally what we're finding is we're trying to pull between a 2 and a 3% audience size. So to me, I'm getting much better results when we're looking at 3%. If we're wanting a very, very broad audience, then we can go all the way up to 10%, but then we really are looking at broad. So 1% is extremely refined. So if you're potentially looking for, if you're a law firm and you're looking to talk to other lawyers, then you may want to do the 1%. But if you are again, a law firm and you're looking for clients, you may want to go to the 3%. But if you are again, a law firm and you're just looking to get out information about a new ruling that's come through, you may want to go up to 10%. So it really depends on what it is and who you wanted to target depending on here. Generally in our agency, 3% is where we're looking at. And we're going to create that audience. And you would just go through and do the same for each of those. Now, I want you to do a lookalike audience for your Facebook. I want you to do a lookalike audience for your Instagram and your website visitors for the last 180 days. I feel that those are really robust audiences to work with, and I'd like to see you do that process for all of those.